Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. In today's weather forecast, we'll be tracking more severe weather chances, record high temperatures still yet to be set into this weekend, and a major snowstorm on the way, especially for the Northeast. As we go into early next week, we'll be diving into the details for you right here on today's weather forecast. Now, let's take you back to yesterday here. Here are your storm reports. We had a surprise severe weather event here across the Midwest and the southwestern Great Lakes. We had 3 reported tornadoes, 2 of those into north central Illinois, and 1 of those across far southern Wisconsin. And that far southern Wisconsin tornado was on the ground for longer than 30 or even 45 minutes yesterday, causing a lot of damage. And it's actually the first February tornado touchdown in the state of Wisconsin in history. So definitely a day for the record books yesterday. And here is a photo of one of those stronger thunderstorms here off to the distance. This is a photo from your very own Weather on the Go near Rockford, Illinois. And you can see, looking southwest from there, a nice looking cumulonimbus cloud. You can see the anvil here to the top, very strong thunderstorm that shows a lot of shear in the environment. And then you see the base of the storm off to the distance, likely producing those damaging winds and those hailstones that we did see yesterday south and west of Rockford. Looking at that area here currently this morning, it is a-okay. Those thunderstorms have moved out, so we are at an all clear across those areas as we go through this morning. And across the United States in general, not too active here this morning. We do have a couple of showers, a couple of thunderstorms across the deep south here. These are not severe, but the main parent low is up here into southeastern Canada and moving further east. So that will actually mean better weather for us. High pressure working in across the Midwest today, bringing lots of sunshine and more warm weather through the day. But if you like detailed weather breakdowns across North America and you like accurate weather forecasts, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And also would love to hit 100,000 subscribers by spring. And you all could help me get there simply by subscribing to the channel down below if you have not already. Also, make sure to press the like button down below. It helps out more than you know. So let's dive into the meat and potatoes of the forecast here and zoom out the picture to show you, like we always do, what the weather is looking like. You can see the high pressure across eastern Canada up here with the reds, the pinks, the oranges. That typically implies warmer weather, but also drier weather as we go through today, and that means mainly across the eastern U.S., those record high temperatures will continue. Now look off to the west. We have that trough that's been hanging around the Intermountain West or the western third of the country. More active weather, some snowfall out here with the cold air aloft further to the west, but more importantly, those record high temperatures will prevail across the east as we go through today. You can see across the Ohio Valley, southeastern Canada into the northeast, those record high temperatures could be set yet again today with temperatures well above normal. And looking at those highs today, we are into the 50s, well into the 50s for the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic. A few areas could eclipse the 60-degree mark. Further south near the Gulf Coast here, temperatures are into the lower and middle 70s from Texas through Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama into Florida here today. And looking at that, when you have warm air like that across the United States in the month of February, you always have to watch out for just the littlest amount of energy, and we have that today across the mid-Mississippi Valley, and that could spark a couple of strong to severe thunderstorms in a spot or two. So the day one outlook from the Storm Prediction Center does show a marginal risk of severe weather here from Arkansas around the Little Rock region up through Jonesboro, getting into portions of southeastern Missouri, southern Illinois, western Kentucky, and western Tennessee. And we are keeping an eye on this because this could be producing some elevated hailstorms across this region. Hail would be the main mode of severe weather, as this likely will be coming later in the day and overnight time frame. And that is what we like to see, more stable conditions in the environment. So no surface-based thunderstorms are likely today like we saw yesterday. Saturday with those tornadoes. So here's the lightning flash density today, and you can see where the thunderstorms are or where they're not. Where they're not, you're going to see all white. Where they are, you can see the blue showing up. A couple of thunderstorms, East Texas, getting into southern Arkansas through the day today. We start to see some widely scattered storms. One or two of these storms could go severe warned later today for some elevated hail. Could be potentially seeing some quarter, maybe ping pong ball size hail across portions of western Kentucky, southern Illinois, southeastern Missouri, down into Arkansas and western Tennessee as we go through tonight. Then that could linger over into middle Tennessee and central Kentucky for your Saturday morning, likely on a weakening trend as those storms move further to the east. Then as we go into the weekend, Saturday the 10th, Sunday the 11th of February, more records can be broken potentially across the East Coast, especially up into the Northeast and New England, as we have temperatures well above normal there as we go through the weekend time frame. Looking at those temperatures on Saturday the 10th, look at the East Coast here. We're well into the 50s, all the way up into coastal New England, the mid-Atlantic, 60s down here into the southeast, and yes, well into the 70s for Florida on Saturday. Going into Sunday, we start to cool off those temperatures a little bit from north to south, but still respectable highs across the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s down here, especially down the further south you go into Florida on Sunday. Looking at the Northeast, and those records could be broken as we go into Saturday. Boston down through Hartford, the New York City area, around 55 to around 60 degrees here on average across those areas on the I-95 corridor. So definitely a great Saturday to get outdoors. And even on Sunday, even though we cool down, we're still into the middle and upper 40s here on Sunday across much of the Northeast here. If you're interior New England, a little bit colder into upstate New York, northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and western Maine, just with that snowpack still on the ground. But we're going to eat a lot of that snowpack away with those 30s and 40s this weekend up across those areas. As we go into the weekend, just a lot of weather to talk about here. You have another storm system, and a big storm system at that. This will become our next major snowstorm, but before we get to that point, on Saturday, that low is going to be down into the Four Corners region, and that will shift across Texas and the southern plains on Sunday as the parent low moves near the Red River. And this could be sparking more severe weather. We have those well above normal temperatures, just a little bit of energy, and we could spark some more severe weather. This is another marginal risk of severe storms. San Antonio, Austin, Victoria, and then over here toward the Houston area on Saturday. And this could be sparking an isolated brief tornado or two, much like we saw across southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois yesterday. This could happen again down here into southern Texas as we go into Saturday. Looking at the instability, the CAPE, the convective available potential energy, this is the energy needed to produce thunderstorms. Through the day, we're going to start to build that across eventually into south central Texas, but it's really as we go into Saturday night, those when the instability values really start to increase there up to around 1,000, perhaps 2,000 joules per kilogram locally, and that is some weak to moderate instability values. So you can see, using the lightning flash density on Saturday, notice widely scattered showers and a few thunderstorms as we go into Saturday during the day. As that instability starts to grow, we start to see a couple areas develop as we go into Saturday night. The first area, weaker thunderstorms into East Texas, Louisiana, and southwestern Mississippi. Maybe a couple of gusty wind reports or some smaller hail with these, but really not that big of a deal. We turn our attention to west central Texas there. That's where a line of some strong to severe storms, a couple of supercells embedded in that line, could develop after dark and move its way east toward the I-35 corridor, Dallas-Fort Worth on south there. We could be seeing some severe weather as we go into your Sunday morning time frame, getting closer towards sunrise. Then as we go into Sunday, another day with severe weather, and this looks to be the biggest day thus far in quite a while down here that we have seen severe weather, and this is on Sunday, February 11th. A large slight risk from East Texas through central Louisiana and to south central Mississippi, covering the Jackson region over here in towards Baton Rouge and Alexandria, Lake Charles, and then getting in toward the Tyler Texas region, and this is again the initiation point of those thunderstorms will be along and east of the I-35 corridor on Sunday. Looking at the ingredients needed for severe weather, the instability or the CAPE is there, convective available potential energy around 1,000 joules per kilogram locally. We also have a very potent mid-level jet just a few thousand feet above our heads screaming in out of the west-southwest, and a low-level jet just a few hundred feet or so above our head that is coming out of the south-southwest. So you have that rolling motion going on in the atmosphere across the lower Mississippi Valley here on Sunday. So ongoing storms across East Texas. These will be crossing over I-35 into the Tyler, Texas region, Shreveport there into northwest Louisiana, and perhaps as far north as southwestern Arkansas on Sunday morning. This is around daybreak or so. Then as we go into the afternoon, we'll charge the atmosphere up ahead of those storms, and these could be widely scattered. And this is actually a concerning look on Sunday because each one of these storms could produce some hail, some damaging winds, and even isolated tornadoes with a storm mode like this, with their being scattered out there. Then as we go into Sunday night, those will shift into eastern Mississippi, eastern Louisiana, getting into Alabama and Georgia here, with that severe weather threat persisting, but likely starting to plateau as we go into that Sunday night time frame. Not only are we talking severe weather on the warm side of the storm, but also very heavy rain again across the deep south. A nice stripe of rainfall here from portions of Tennessee down into northern Alabama, northern Mississippi, through south central Arkansas, northern portions of Louisiana into East Texas. Could be seeing some widespread 2 to 4 inches worth of rain in this corridor around Knoxville, back to Nashville here, getting into Tupelo, Mississippi, the Jackson, Mississippi region, back there toward Little Rock, getting in toward the Shreveport area, Tyler, Texas, Texarkana, a lot of those cities out there through your Monday time frame. Watch out for the 2 to 4 inches of rain. This could be cause for concern with some flooding out there, with a marginal to slight risk for flash flooding this weekend on Saturday and into Sunday. Now that's enough of the warm side of the storm. Let's talk about the cold side, because we are having some cold air move south, and it's going to be producing some snow on Saturday across portions of Colorado, down into New Mexico, and into the panhandle of Texas near the Amarillo area later on Saturday. That will continue across the Amarillo area with some snow on Sunday. That snow line could push even further east into western and central Oklahoma, getting closer toward the Lawton area, closer toward Norman, Oklahoma City as we go into Sunday. Then as we go into Monday time frame, early next week, that low is across middle Tennessee to the northwest side of that low pressure system. We're going to be having some heavier snow, but a narrow swath across the lower Ohio River Valley here, back into southern portions of Illinois, into southern Missouri on Monday. Then as we go into Tuesday, this could turn into a whopper of a storm for the Northeast and the New England coast as we go into that time frame. So let's time this out for you across New England and the Northeast. On Monday, primarily a dry day for most of the day, maybe some drizzle or some light showers creeping up from the south, from south to north across portions of Virginia, Maryland, into southern Delaware. As we go into Monday night, that rain snow line likely to shift further north for a time, and that snowfall piling up across northern PA, southern portions of New York State. All rain, though, for the I-95 corridor Monday night early. Then we'll have dynamic cooling, and that system will start to change over to snow, and very heavy snow. If this model is correct, we could be seeing snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour for your Tuesday morning commute across the Boston area, down through Hartford there, through Rhode Island, and maybe into the New York City area as well for your Tuesday morning commute. And looking at the early estimates of where the placement of the snow will be here through Wednesday the 14th, the middle of next week, you can see the snowfall axis here is across portions of the Northeast and New England, possibly near the I-95 corridor and near the coast, all the way back through the lower Ohio River Valley, back into portions there of the southern plains. So definitely that's the corridor we'll keep an eye on. We'll have early estimates on how much snow to expect as we go into tomorrow's video. I don't want to put it out too prematurely as things could still change with the track of the storm and also the intensity over the next couple of days. Now looking longer range into the middle of February, the well advertised weather pattern change is coming, and you can see by the 14th through the 21st time frame, there we go. We got the lower of the pressure down here across the eastern United States, the blocking, the high pressure blocking that we haven't had a lot of the winter up across most of Canada and Alaska. That's going to force that storm track further south, and more importantly, put that colder air further south, especially once we get into the last week of February from the 21st through the 28th time frame. And this is a nice look for winter weather across the lower 48 and especially down here potentially into the southeast and the east coast during that last week into February. We'll keep you updated on that as we do get closer. If you like detailed weather breakdowns across North America and accurate weather forecasts, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. We'll keep you covered right here on Weather on the Go. Make sure to press the like button down below. It helps out more than you know. Share this video with friends, family, and on social media, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Friday out there.